How you doing, guys? This is Querbet, and I'm bringing you a gameplay of World of
Let's get this
Tanks.
show on the road.
I am driving out a Russian tier 9 out of 10 tiers. A tier 9 heavy tank. It's called IS-4. I just got it, so it is a, almost first impression video, because I drove it out like 5 or 6 times before that. But before I go into the gameplay little deeper, I'd like to announce something. I am streaming World of Tanks on a daily basis. If you like to watch live gameplay, then I invite you to do so. You find my stream at www.twitch.tv/Querbet 2004, and Querbet 2004 is just like my username on YouTube. Just check it out. If there's a chat going on, 99% of the times it's really funny, or mostly we talk about the game itself. So just stop by. Okay, the gameplay is me camping. That has something to do that I am saving up for another tank, but that is something for a different episode of a video of mine. Saving money is not too easy in World of Tanks when you drive the high tier tanks, because when you get hit you get damage that needs to be repaired, and repair costs are proportional to the tier. The higher tier you drive, the more repair cost you have. As simple as that. So that is me being relatively, try to cover that flank with the firepower that I have available, and believe me, the IS-4 is a very decent tank when it comes to firepower, even with the gun I'm using, which is not the most powerful, because I just got the tank. I need to collect more experience points in order to be able to research the better modules on it. The thing is, in order to stay away from artillery shots and in order to be efficient for your team, you need to stay behind a rock, or maneuver like smartly, because if you're dead, you're no good to your team. So
Another one like that should finish them.
just count the tanks and what I hold back there from breaking through. That is, the tanks we just saw there is two high tier tanks of same level, respectively one level below my tier, and they will come. They will be joined by a tank destroyer of the highest tier possible for the Germans. And just by playing like I do, I hold them back and let my team concentrate on that other flank, which they hopefully will get. I don't want to spoil too much here. That is something that I always try to do here. I try to, see into all available options I have. So I drove back a bit because there wasn't happening too much, and from experience it's like, okay, they know, whoa, there's an IS-4, I need to be cautious. I know they will stay a little bit behind, because heavy tank drivers are afraid to get a scratch in the paint job. So, because that relatively fast can become relatively expensive. So, I admit that there it would be possible to play more action-like, but I had to learn that the hard way. That is not what World of Tanks is all about. World of Tanks is, at least when it comes to the high tier gameplay, it's not all about action at all. It's like more strategic movement and, you know, stay hidden until you can get a safe shot and stuff like that. So I think we have to deal with that kind of gameplay. I didn't like it too much either in the first place, but I had to adopt because I liked the game, so I kinda needed to accept that game style. Oh well. Yeah, the IS, from my point of view, a few words on that. Well, there's one higher tier for the Russians and for the Germans, and and for the Americans. They all have a higher tier tank, but I think, the IS-4 is by far the most efficient tank in the game, I mean, cost-wise, the damage output it is capable of, the flexibility on how you can play it, the playability aspects in terms of, traverse speed of the turret, traverse speed of the hull, the damage output of the gun, its ability to take damage, and all the rest of it. So I would, at the moment I have a tier 9 German tank, the E-75, and I have a tier 10 German tank, the E-100, and I tell you, the IS-4 as a tier 9 Russian tank is a lot of more fun to play, and B, much more efficient than the German counterparts. So that's that, I would say. What you see happening here, there's a Jagdtiger coming around the corner and trying to lure me into something that is not gonna happen, because the Jagdtiger, I know that, can make very short business of my tank. That is the tier 9, which is the highest tier for tank destroyers. That is the tier 9 tank destroyers for the Germans. And you don't really want to mess up with that guy. Seriously. I mean, yeah, I get support from like one tank, but I think, I don't want to be arrogant or something, but or big mouth, but I mean, I hold them back pretty much on my own, except that one tank that helps me out, which is, to be honest, against the Jagdtiger, very helpful, and I probably would have died already. There was an arty shot that puts his tracks down. Yeah, that is one thing that I try on all new tanks that I get. I have the module. There's two modules that bring down the reload time, and I have them both equipped so that the reload timer is relatively low compared to other tier 9 or to the standard tier 9 tanks. Yeah, that is quite an investment as well, but oh well. Oh look, there's a tier 7 American T-20 tank coming and help, and that makes up the situation, because the tier 8 American tank, that's a T-32, now needs to move, and the Jagdtiger is also getting a little how can I say that, a little nervous. Yeah, I think the gameplay is over pretty soon. As I said, www.twitch.tv/querbeet2004. That is my daily World of Tanks stream, and it is, I'd say it's worth checking. But anyways, see you later.